What is sportsmanship?
Shit!
Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Been a bit of a break between videos. Life stuff has been happening, but anyway. Starting off, we've got Inferno TheFox, who is making a habit of making some tire mishaps. Last week he was on inters or wets when he shouldn't have been.
Shit!
And this time he's going to go from softs to softs, which of course means he would incur a 1 minute penalty for not changing compounds. So that means he's going to have to pit again the next lap, and he's coming in 8th place. And unfortunately for him, he's eventually going to get it right, but he is going to be down into 10th place. I suppose it could have been a lot worse, but better than a penalty either way. And then next up at 9, we've got RX8 Racer for the first of numerous clips at Fuji from this week, actually, most of this video. We've got this guy coming out of the pits, crossing the white line, unghosting, and he's going to end up, well, getting punted as a result of that, and punting someone else. Now, if you're exiting the pits, that white line is there for a reason. I reckon Gran Turismo really should have penalties for crossing that line. I mean, it looked pretty deliberate as an effort to block, but I suppose we'll never know. So yeah, I suppose the only small consolation is that he did get overtaken by both of those people anyway. So next up at 8, we are moving to not Fuji, and this time we have been leading the race from start to finish, the most comfortable of leads at the moment. And we're coming around the very last corner, and I mean, surely got to get it right. It's not the hardest corner in the world, but oh no, it's going to put it on the grass and spin it, which is going to allow everyone else to catch up. And he's going to turn around, but that's going to put him straight into the pit lane, unfortunately. So he's going to have to finish at a pedestrian speed, and he's going to be not taking a comfortable lead. He's going to be taking 9th place instead, unfortunately. And then next up at 7, we are back on Fuji for the first of numerous PMD clips this week, actually. And we've got a familiar name. That's, you know, modus operandi. That's how he works. That's how he gets past people. And he's going to put it on the curb, which is going to slow him down, so that guy's going to be able to catch up. But he's going to try and block him. And, you know, Absol, you can see on the list, is not too far behind, and he is seeing all of that. So he's going to be catching up, and he's going to exact some revenge. So Absol, the vigilante of the day. And then next up at 6, still on Fuji, and we got some guys going to the pits and actually wrestling their way into the pits. So a double overtake for Riolu as he goes in there. So let's have a look there from the Peugeot's perspective. It looked maybe like it was the Porsche's fault, but we're going to have to see the Porsche's perspective as well. Yeah, I think it was kind of both of their faults, really. Just racing way too hard into the pit lane. So that was nice for Riolu, but not so much for them. And then next up, we are moving to the most interesting of all races, or the interesting choices of all races. Now, we're going to have this guy just swerving across and getting punted off as a result. And we're going to be up into 2nd place here. But this guy is the one, actually, that we want to keep in question here. He's in 2nd place, coming to the end of the race. Going to absolutely balls up that corner and not lay off the throttle at all. And it seems like he's going to be a bit surprised by the 1 second penalty he's about to be awarded, because he's just going to seemingly give up and cut across the track here. So maybe he actually went off on purpose there. I don't know why he would. A comfortable 2nd place. But going to try and block people here, end up crashing into the wall. And there's going to be someone else coming through as well, who he's, again, going to try and block, but again, going to crash into the wall. He actually ended up quitting the race here, even though the finish was right there, so I don't think he had any intention of finishing this race. Perhaps he wanted to earn himself a reset, but anyway. Next up at 4, back on Fuji, back with another PMD guy. So we got this McLaren, who we are now riding on board with. Not too happy with this Peugeot for whatever reason. Going to end up losing some ground as a result of his anger, and losing a few more positions as a result of it as well. So he's got Intellion on the side of him now. And we're coming into the braking zone for the first corner. Going to go in hot here. A bit too hot. The ghosting, oh well, the collision system doesn't work for high-speed collisions like that. And we're going to be down into 13th place. Now later on we're in 15th place. catching up to this Mercedes, and we're just not going to brake until very, very late. Unfortunately, he's going to crash the Mercedes off, but he's also going to crash himself off. And at this point, I think he just gave up. There's no inputs happening right here, and he is about to quit the race. So next up at 3, we have got another clip from Fuji, and another interesting one. So, I mean, if you see a car ghosted and you're that far behind him, you should probably be a bit cautious, because he actually ended up helping that BMW there. So we're going to go into the first corner a bit hot, punt old Kinga Thurpt, I hope that's how you say it, out of the way, and then instant karma as he gets spun by that BMW. So beautiful stuff. We're going to end up losing a good few positions here, so we're going to be down into 8th place by the end of that. Jumping forward, we're now into 11th. Kinga is in front of him. We're going to have an aggressive move on the Porsche there. The Porsche is, well, understandably not too happy about it, but he's going to do a very classy job of getting him back. So we're just going to do a little subtle nudge out of the way there. So well done to him. And then he's going to end up losing a couple more positions. He only had about 69 kilometers on his car, so I don't think he did much practice. He probably should have done a bit more. And we're going to be down to 14th by the end of that. And then just missing out the top spots, we've got Superior End, another familiar name, and another familiar way of getting past. So obviously the second time we've seen this car today, second account as well. And now a little nudge on the Subaru, and then just going to kind of, you know, go wide into him as well. So coming to the end of the straight, the Subaru is going to catch up a bit in the slipstream, and we're going to try and block the Subaru. The Subaru is going to try to take another route, and we're going to have a little bit of a revenge job here, as we're going to block him as he blocked him at the beginning of the straight. So we're going to jump ahead a little bit, because we've got some more incidents here. We're going to have another go here, classic move, beautiful stuff, just to punt that Aston out of the way. And then we are catching up to the Subaru again. Going to go for the ram, miss out badly, beautiful stuff. And the Subaru is just going to end up carrying on his merry way. Just about going to lose control here. And then we're going to be down into 9th place by the end of that. Wonderful stuff. And then taking the top spot this week, we have got OJ Britt. This is the first encounter these guys had the entire race, and the Lexus was not too happy about it for whatever reason, because OJ Britt was driving in a perfectly straight line on the straight. So anyway, we're coming into the braking zone for the 15th lap, or the first corner on the 15th lap. A little bit of contact on OJ Britt, which he probably saw as a block, I don't know. And we're just going to shove him out the way, and then try and shove him out the way again. End up taking himself off too. And we're going to bring a bunch of guys into contention here, which is obviously something that happens so often in these situations. I don't know if he tried to block him there. Either way, not going to quite work out in his favor. So this poor Porsche who's coming up alongside is going to be a bit of collateral damage, unfortunately. But we're going to have a nudge from that Lexus straight into the Porsche, and then there was more contact with the Porsche from someone else, and he ended up getting spun. But we're going to go for a ram here, or an aggressive pass, shall we say. And we're just going to get extremely slow, which is only going to bring more people closer to him. So we have more people to contend with. OJ Britt's doing the right thing and just pushing him out the way, because really we have no time for these types of drivers. And that has just infuriated him, because going into the braking zone, he's actually going to end up clipping the wrong car and sending only himself off the track. So by the end of this, we're going to be down into 9th place. So no bonus clips this week, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have, go and leave a like. If you're on, go ahead and subscribe. Thank you very much to my patrons whose names you see on screen right now. If you'd like to join them and get access to videos early, the link is in the description, and I'll see you guys in my next video.